So, Assalamu alaikum everyone, and let's formally begin the class after introduction. You know, everyone, first of all, just let me know if all of you can see my screen. Is it visible to you? So that I move
Yes,
on.
teacher, it is.
Thank you so much. All right. Now, on my screen, you can see this is a wall. All right. It is a writing wall. And on this writing wall, I have written a topic which is how has social media influenced or impacted our lives? This is a topic. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share uh, the ones who are just joining, kindly mute yourselves so that there is no noise and distortion. Everyone, please take care. All right. I think Sidra. Sidra, will you please mute your mic? You are requested to mute your mic, please.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So, as all of you can see, there is a topic written on my screen, and it is a writing wall. All right. How will you be able to put your responses on it? I'm going to share a link in the chat box. Okay. Let me copy the link. All right. Okay. Fine. So here is the chat box, and here is the link. So I have shared the link in the chat box, and I hope that everybody has got it. Once you will, okay, first listen to the instructions. Once you will click that link, you will be able to have an access to this writing wall. All right. You will all come to this page, which you can see on my screen. And then at the bottom, you will see this pink icon, this pink button, this pink icon. Everybody, can you see this? Please write in the chat box or just unmute yourself and let me know. Thank you so much, because it's very important that you keep on responding me so that I can feel connected with you. All right, thank you. So this pink button is where this is with the plus sign. When you click this, it will open a text box. All right. So you will write at least 4 sentences or 5 sentences on, or in other words, as much as you can write on the topic, how has social media influenced or impacted our lives? And after writing, you have to post it. As soon as you post it, your responses will start appearing and showing on my screen. All right. So this is the activity. So now I would like you to please click this link which I have just shared in the chat box and start writing. All right, take 2 minutes. I'm giving you 2 minutes, and I'm going to pause the recording. I'm giving you 2 to 3 minutes to click this pink icon, pink button. This with the plus sign, text box will appear. Write your responses on the topic on social media, and then post this on this writing wall. All right. So this is the whole idea. I hope you all understand. Please start writing. Your time starts now. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I have started receiving your comments and your responses on this writing wall, and I would like to read out that one of you have written that people who are addicted to social media may experience negative side effects such as eye strain, social withdrawal, or lack of sleep, stress. Yes, if you spend your time researching problems or arguing with people, you may experience stress, which can have negative impact on your health. Wonderful. Heads up to you. This is brilliant comment, and I really liked it. Okay. Uh, it has weakened social uh, people waste their time. Okay, and relations are getting weaker and weaker. Yes, I take your point. I mean, you are trying to say that it has weakened actually, and it has made it has impacted our relationship and communication. It has affected very adversely, and people waste their time, and their relationships are getting affected. Exactly. Impact of social media has a big impact on our lives. And one of my recent experience that I ran a campaign about an event on social media that everyone got this, and big impact of examples is TikTok. Yes, social media can have positive and influences and effects, and it can have a negative as well. So we have to see both sides of the coin. We cannot be so judgmental looking at one side of social media, how it is, how it has affected our lives. But we will have to see both sides of the coin. It has connected us with the world. Oh, yes, this is a positive comment, I guess. And it helps us in sharing our opinions with people. And it keeps us updated about the world. Nice. Thank you so much. Are we expecting more comments? Students, if you are writing, or shall we proceed? Shall we proceed now? Okay. Um, all right. So let's just okay. So as we have done the one writing activity on Padlet and the writing wall, and your responses were amazing, and I was glad to see that you love writing and you used good vocabulary and sentences. Although there are many students who need to work on the sentence structure. All right. So what is when it comes to learning a language, when it comes to expressing yourself, whether in the writing way or in spoken way, when whether you are speaking or you are writing, basically both speaking and writing, they both are the means of communication. We are communicating our thoughts, our ideas, our feelings, our experiences to others. And for that, if your sentences are not properly structured, you will definitely will not be successful in delivering your message to the listeners, to the audience, to the other people. All right. So today we have the topic to discuss, which is phrase, clause, and sentence. And when you know what phrases, what clauses, what sentences are, you will be able to write well and you will be able to speak well. All right. So we have already on the screen the definition is written that what is a phrase and what is a clause. Let me read it for you. That a clause is a part of a sentence that contains a verb, okay, and a predicate. You all know that what is a predicate? Can you please write in the chat box or tell me what is a predicate?
After the sentence, predicate will show
All
after the
right.
ending of sentence.
Okay. See, when look at the example right at the side. For example, he must stop laughing. All right. So we always have a subject in a sentence, and subject is actually the doer and the performer who is performing an action. All right. He and the all the rest of the part in the sentence is called predicate. Predicate can have and must have a word. It must have a word and then an object or modifier. Modifier can be place modifier, time modifier. All right. So he must stop laughing. He is subject and must stop laughing is predicate. Must stop is verb. All right. And laughing is giving us more detail, more information about something. A sentence can be small, a sentence can be long. A predicate can be small, a predicate can be long. It can have a preposition in it. It can have an adverb in it. All right. It's up to you that how well constructed and well structured your sentence is. Because of course you are, you have to formulate the sentences for conveying your ideas and messages to others. Let's look at this. What is a phrase? A phrase is just a small group of words that adds meaning to the sentence, but it is not a sentence. But what is the identification of a sentence? That a sentence should have a subject and a verb. If you have a group of words, like for instance, that in the river or under the table, all right, or in the afternoon, when you are saying this, these are just the group of words. Although that these words are meaningful and they have individual meaning, but actually they are not giving us the clear sense of what we are trying to say. All right. So phrases are a small group of words that add many meaning to the sentence, but they are not a sentence because what is missing in the phrase, the subject and subject and verb is missing. When you provide and add a subject and a verb to the phrase, it becomes a sentence. We have an example here. The information gave, all right, is a noun phrase. We have phrases, kinds of phrases. We studied in the linguistics subject. Remember, in the last semester, I taught you linguistics, and we have studied the kinds of phrases, noun phrase, adjective phrase, word phrase, preposition phrase. After a very long walk is a preposition phrase. but after a very long walk is actually not giving us a clear idea what we are trying to say. It is incomplete until we add a subject and a verb to make it complete, to make it a sentence. Okay, now I'm going to stop here, and we are going to do an online check on what is phrase and what is clause. All right. So what did I say? That clause has a subject and a verb, and it gives us a meaning. It gives us a meaning, a very clear idea and the meaning what we are saying. Okay. Now I would require and invite your responses. Okay. So this is a quiz about phrases and clauses. So the ones which are written with red, red color or red font, you will have to identify whether it is a phrase or it is a clause. Okay, so look at this first one. Faced with so many problems, I decided to get professional help. So the group of words which are written in red, is there, showing, is a phrase or a clause? What could it be?
It's a phrase, I
It's a
guess.
It
phrase.
is phrase.
Phrase. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Correct. There is no subject word in this part. Okay. Whose mic is unmute? Will you please? All right. Thank you. You have already done. Okay. So you see that there is the explanation given that there is no subject verb in this part, and on its own, it is not a complete thought. All right. So phrases do not convey a complete idea or a complete thought. They are incomplete without a subject and a verb. She arrived to work on time. This is written in red. All right. In spite of leaving home so late. So she arrived to work on time. What do you think? It is a phrase or a clause?
It's a clause.
It is close.
It's clause. All right. Let's see. Yes. All right. Because why? This has a subject and it has a verb, and it is giving us a complete thought. All right. Afzal, thank you so much. Uruj, thank you. You are sharing your responses in the chat box as well. I'm glad that you are participating. All right. The next sentences will do only 5. All right. Or maybe I can pick one which I want to. All right. Before taking any medicine, I always speak to my doctor. All right. So this one, which is written in red, is a phrase or a clause?
It's a phrase.
Clause.
Close.
Clause.
Clause.
All right. Uruj is saying clause. All right. And
Clause.
it is a clause. All
It's
right.
a phrase.
It's a phrase. All right. Why? What made you
Phrase.
think so, Ramsha? Why
Yes,
did you
close,
say
ma'am.
that it is a phrase? Ramsha, I would like to
Yes,
Because
hear
clause.
from
it
you.
does not have any subject.
All right, but okay, it's saying I always speak to my doctor. So don't. What do you think that? What is this?
I'm sorry. I was looking at the black wording. It's a clause.
All right, yeah, you have to see the ones which is written in red font. All right. Okay, so this is close. Yes, because this has a subject and a verb, and it is giving us a complete thought on its own. In other words, you can say that clause or sentence stands alone. I mean, they don't need any other, you can say any other group of words to support them. They can stand alone. But phrases, they can't stand alone. They need a subject and a verb to make it complete,
Yes.
and convey the clear idea. Mark has lived outside of his country for 14 years. For 14 years. What do you think?
Close.
Clause.
It is a clause for 14 years. Look at this. Look at this. For 14 years.
It's a phrase.
It is phrase. Phrase, ma'am.
Yes, it is phrase. All right. Yeah, there's no subject in it. All right.
Ma'am, Marka is a noun, I think. That's why it should be a
No,
clause.
all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Afzal, you don't have to look at this, the sentence written or the part which is in black, written in black font. You only have to see the, this part, the red, the ones
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. For
which is
14 years.
bold,
That's
yes,
okay.
which is written in red color, all right, red font, You only have to consider that and identify whether the phrase or the clause written in red is what, whatever. All right. In the morning, it's best to get up early. What do you think? It's best to get up early is
It's a close.
Clause.
clause? Yes, it is a clause. This is nice. Number 6. Having always been keen on caring for people, Suzanne decided to become a nurse. What do you think? What could it be? Having always been keen on caring for people.
It's a
The
phrase.
clause.
Okay, okay, close. Who said this is a close, and why? What made you say so? Why do you think it is a close and not a phrase?
Sushan, it is a noun. That's why decided to become a nurse.
You don't have to. Again, you are looking at this red sentence. Sorry, the sentence which is in black. You don't have to look at this. You have to only look at ones, the one which is written with this black, red color. This having
It's a
always been keen on caring for people.
it's called a phrase.
This is a phrase. Yes, this is a phrase because
Phrase.
there is no subject and verb. All right, and this is reduced to adverbial clause. Okay, well, this is adverbial clause like having always seen. So having always seen, there is no subject. Having is not playing here the part of a verb. It is just as used as a gerund or adverbial phrase. All right. So let's just stop here and move to the presentation. Okay. By the way, everyone, please note down that after how much time after 5 minutes, this meeting will end. So you will take 10 minutes break and will join again, all right, for the second session. Now let's talk about sentence. All right. How many kinds of sentences are there, everyone?
5 kinds of sentence.
How many kinds of sentences are there?
5
Four,
kinds
four,
of sentence.
All right. Can you please
5.
name
4 kinds of sentence.
4 kinds of sentences?
Madam, may I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Interrogative sentences,
Yes, yes,
negative sentences,
yes.
affirmative sentences, interrogative negative sentences,
Interrogative, negative, imperative as well. We have exclamatory as well.
imperative sentences.
Yes, we have. All
Sorry,
right.
ma'am.
Great. Now, today we are going to study sentences and types of sentences, not from this point of view as we have already been learning, yes, as you already know. All right. We will discuss that in terms of construction of a sentence, how many kinds do they have? For example, let's talk about a simple sentence. A simple sentence can be affirmative, can be negative, can be interrogative. A simple sentence, right? Uh, and what is the example of a simple sentence? That a simple sentence is a sentence which has at least minimum one subject and one word. All right. Look at this. That Joe waited for the train. So Joe is subject and waited is verb. All right. Or waited for the train is a predicate. It has at least one subject and one word. So simple sentences are those sentences which have at least one subject and one word. Mary and Samantha took the bus. So you see that Mary and Samantha, these are compound subject. I mean, there are, sometimes in sentences we have two subjects, like my friend and I went for outing yesterday. All right. So the subject can be plural. Subject can be compound. We are talking about two people here, Mary and Samantha. I looked for Mary and Samantha at the bus station. So again, I is subject, look is verb. For Mary and Samantha, I mean, your object can be, plural. We can be mentioning two people in our sentence. We can be talking about the plural object, plural things, and the people in general. So a simple sentence is, if you want to understand what a simple sentence is, a simple sentence is one which has at least one subject and one word. Okay, we will be very quickly going through the four kinds of sentences, and then I'll take you to the exercise in the next part, in the next session. And with the help of that, you will be able to have a better idea of what all these types of sentences are. Now, what is a compound sentence? Compound sentences can make writing rich and colorful. This is the use. They provide more detail and make paragraphs more interesting and engaging. What is a compound sentence? A compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses joined together with a coordinator, such as for, and, or, but. Okay. So in other words, you can say that a compound sentence has two clauses in it. It means two clauses means that one clause has one subject in the word, then the other clause which has one subject in the word, and they both clauses are joined by coordinators. These coordinators are for and but. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at this.
Yes, teacher.
Look at this. There are 6 coordinators in English language. If you want to identify that whether the sometimes you know what happens, the students get confused in differentiating whether it is a compound sentence or complex sentence. So it is a very clear identification is given to you on this screen, as you can see. You have to remember fan voice. What you have to remember? Fan voice. This fan voice is basically telling us which coordinators. I'm giving you, Sharafat, giving you examples of compound sentences, but this information I should share first with you before giving you examples. All right. So remember that
Okay,
these,
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So these pen boys, each word is actually telling you one coordinator that will help you to identify that yes, this sentence is a compound sentence, and this is for, F for, a, and, nor, you know, nor and either, like neither, nor, either, or. All right. So we have
Madam,
these
these
kinds of,
examples are also the sentence words of
sorry.
conjunctions. But is the conjunctions word?
Yes, they are conjunctions, they are connectors, all right, because they join two sentences, they join two clauses, all right. So just we have less than 1 minute and it is going to stop, you know, the meeting will end. Please join after 10 minutes, everyone, and then I'll explain you more, and we'll do an activity or an online game on these kinds of sentences. All right, everybody.